100%. 100%. Because I have been, ever since this trip, I have been talking to every junior I know, my brother included.
Okay.
Like I'm gonna pull him to the interview and schedule his interview time if I need to, because I know how much he's gonna. I mean, I know he's gonna kicking and screaming, but I know how much he's gonna appreciate it when he becomes part of the experience. So any African American youth, completely encourage them to do it. It's so transformative, and I feel like being surrounded by so many people like yourself, especially if you come from a white, predominantly white school, it's so important to see yourself with people like you, people excelling like you, because there's so many, misconceptions and stereotypes about us in the world, and to be able to come together in a community where people are just beating down the stereotypes left and right is so important, and it's so valuable to confidence, self-worth, just being able to step out into your career knowing that you're that one. You know what I mean? So
yes, I recommend this program to anyone. I talk about it all the time. My friends hear me talk about it all the time, because especially being in like a Birmingham district or a predominantly white district, you don't always get to hear people's stories or African American kids' stories, or to really get around a lot of people who probably experience the same household issues and things that you experience. So I felt like I got to experience that twice a week my senior year, which was great. Like, it was super fun, and yeah, it was overall just like a fun experience to be in the program. So yeah, I would definitely recommend it.
Midnight Golf has impacted me in so many ways. Being able to understand financial literacy, being able to public speak and knowing the importance of that, being able to network and, come out of my comfort zone and be able to talk to people I wouldn't normally talk to. It's just really taught me overall that comfort is something that you can't always be, and you have to be uncomfortable to be successful.
And how has it brought you out of your comfort zone? Like, what are some specific situations?
So 1 week we had a public speaking competition where we had to speak or perform a speech in our class. And so they selected the top 2 speeches in each class. And I was selected to speak in front of the entire Midnight Golf program. And that was probably the most nerve-wracking experience of my life. But once I got up there and I spoke and I finished, I felt really invigorated and, really felt like I could do this more often. So that was just one example of how they've really brought me out of my comfort zone.
So I feel like Midnight Golf has impacted me in so many different ways, from finding new friends in the community and getting to know like different people around me who have different experiences, and also different college and career lessons that I didn't know that weren't really taught at home, or like that I wasn't really learning at school. And it also gave me that like realness of, okay, this might not be your dream school, but it's okay, we'll find another school for you. Or like, like they surrounded me with different type of resources that I don't think I would have been able to be like, available to at school. So.
And what are those specific resources, or what are some specific resources?
So one specifically like big resource that really helped me was having a success coach, which was somebody who I could come and see when I was at Midnight Golf, or schedule meetings with, to help me find different scholarships, and help me figure out what school was exactly the school for me, and even give me resources to students at those schools. Like, there's been a lot of students that I've talked to at the school that I'm probably planning on going to, just because of like the Midnight Golf Connect and the connections that they have with schools and programs and like different stuff like that.
So Midnight Golf was obviously around when I graduated high school in 2012, but I didn't know about the program then, especially because it's more of a program that I thought at the time was towards Detroit students, and I live a little bit further north, so I had no idea about the program. And it wasn't until I graduated with my Master's of Higher Ed in 2019, and I was looking for a job, that I kind of heard about the program, and I thought they needed a golf coach at first. So I was like ready to not apply, but it just so happened that a person that I worked with was an alum of the program in 2014. So that's originally how I heard about Midnight Golf.
So basically my mom, it was like that summer. It was the beginning of the summer, and she was like, Erin, like, there's this really cool program that you should be a part of. I'm like, okay. Because I was trying to build up my college resume. Right. So I was like, anything, like, I'm open to it. So come September, she's like, Erin, like, you remember the program I talked to you? I was like, yeah. She's like, here, like, you know, I watched this, I have this video for you. I scheduled an interview. Mm-hmm. And I said, oh, you scheduled it. You scheduled it. I was like, hold on. I was like, we briefly talked about this for 2 minutes, and you're up here scheduling my interview. Best thing she ever could have done. Mm-hmm. And in the moment, I was so mad at her, because after I watched the video with Mr. Gambling, and he was like, you know, this is a huge commitment. 2 times a week, you're there for, you know, 2.5, 3 hours, you know. Mm-hmm. And I was like, I can't do this. I'm like, he's like, put your sports aside. I'm like, wait, I run. Like, I don't want to give this up. And then I was just, my social anxiety, like, I don't know if I can be able to really communicate with so many people twice a week. This is too much for me. Mm-hmm. And so going into that, I was very scared. And she scheduled an interview, and I interviewed with Miss Kayla, and I loved her. And after that, it was like, I don't know, it was just like fate from there.
So, to be honest with you, I knew a little bit about Midnight Golf, but I actually didn't know, like, that we golfed every time we were there. Like, when I first thought about Midnight Golf, I thought, like, okay, this is like a college leadership program. That's literally what I thought it was. I thought, like, we went and, like, they showed us a Common App and stuff like that, and that's literally what I thought it was. I thought we, like, literally did, like, college work when we were there. So when I did my interview, I still didn't know, like, completely everything about Midnight Golf. But I just knew that, like, you had to be interested in college, or even had, like, a little bit of I want to go to college in you. And I think I had all of that in me. So I was just like, okay, I'm going to like this. So I did my interview, which I wasn't really nervous about. I kind of I just kind of had to be myself in my interview, and talk about why I kind of wanted to be in the program and stuff like that. And then I got there day one, and I was like, oh, okay, we're golfing, like, for real. And then I seen people who were, like, golfing. Keep in mind, I, like, never golfed. Like, that was my first time picking up a club. Right. I didn't know the names. I didn't know anything. And I looked around, and it was, like, people who really golfed around me. And I'm like, hold on. How long am I going to last? Like... So I think Midnight Golf really opened my eyes to letting me know that, like, college is going to be, like, what you make it. Like, college, ultimately, like, they push, I feel like, for you to go to college and for college to be your outlook. But also, it's like, I think they kind of let you know that college isn't for everyone, and kind of, like, the realness of, like, this is what you're setting yourself up. Like, this is what success looks like, almost. So I think that they kind of ultimately, like, really made me, you know, I already wanted to go to college, but even seeing so many successful people in the Midnight Golf group, and, you know, their mentors who all went to college and who can speak on different, you know, like, college aspects and show how much college helped build them and, like, build their character and stuff. So
I really didn't understand how important it was to be able to vocalize my skill set. Mm-hmm. Because I felt like people should know how good I am, right? Mm-hmm. But people don't always know how good you are. You have to advocate for yourself and speak up for yourself. And until you can do that, you know, brag about yourself a little bit, mm-hmm. you're not going to be able to reach your full potential and have people see who you really are.
Why I hope they join is because they believe that this will give them an edge, that Midnight Golf will offer them an opportunity and access networks that will help them achieve their goals. That they see this as a place of opportunity, a place that provides access to scholarships, access to college possibilities, career possibilities, mentors, friends that are also equally minded towards success. We hope that that's what they see. It also has a very high brand value. There's a lot of people love saying that they're in Midnight Golf, so some people will join for the clout.
And then what do you think for the mentors? Why do you think they join, or they come back?
I think most people will find after they've lived a little bit of life that it's very difficult to succeed in life without somebody sticking their neck out for you sometimes, somebody helping you along the way, somebody taking the time to open a door, to give you some advice, to direct you. That's a fairly common experience. And I think that when people have that experience, they want to share that experience. They want to open a door, provide some advice for somebody. And this just gives them a tremendous opportunity to do that. If they also happen to enjoy playing golf and they can play golf and do this, then it becomes a multiplier. Because it's nothing like helping people learn how to play golf. It's a great community game. It's a great, thing to learn. So it all kind of dovetails in a number of directions.
I think reflecting on it, and even with it being the end of our program now, just to see how much students evolve over 30 weeks, because you have students on different levels of the spectrum. Some people are very, they know where they want to go to school, and then you have people who are like kind of not sure, need a little guidance, and then some people absolutely don't know anything about the college process. So just seeing how that transforms over time, seeing them not just in terms of college decision, but also coming out of their shell, being more open to the process, being more actively engaged with their peers, whether that's socially or whatever the case is. So I think it's just the overall evolution of the student throughout the program is just very rewarding to see them from when you guys get here in September all the way till now it is May. It's just a big change, and that's what I enjoy the most.
One of the greatest lessons is to take in everything that they give you, every resource, every bit of advice, every word, because it matters and it'll help you in the long run. I think that every time we have like a speaker come and tell us about their life story or tell us like important things that happen in their college lives or even their everyday lives, we can relate to. Like, know that you're not alone. Know that you're in this group with 90 or 100 kids who can ultimately still relate to you. So don't think you're alone. Like, I've never thought that I was alone when I stepped foot in Midnight Golf on Tuesday and Thursday. Like, I know that it's kids around me, people around me who can relate and also help my situation or whatever I'm going through.
One of the greatest lessons I can think to take away from Midnight Golf is to surround yourself with all kinds of people. Because being with certain people who may not think the same as you, who may not act the same as you, can teach you so much about yourself. I feel like it's so easy to surround yourself with people who are like you and to feel comfortable in that, and that speaks again to being out of your comfort zone. But once you get to, gravitate to other groups, meet new people, you realize that everyone has something to offer, no matter where they're coming from, no matter how they act, no matter, their social background or anything.
And how has surrounding yourself with like different kinds of people helped you in your journey of like whether it's personal growth or like for your career?
Yeah, so sometimes I had preconceived assumptions about people, my roommate, for example. She's very outgoing, one of the most outgoing people I've ever met in my entire life. And I knew that about her, from programming, but I didn't know until we were roomed together that her outgoingness was so invigorating for me, because I felt like I could be more outgoing because she was more outgoing, and she kind of pulled me into this new space of talking to people I really didn't know, or just socializing in general with a big group of people that I wasn't comfortable with, and so that was really great for me.
So I think the best thing for the program about the program is the impact that it's made. I'll just put it to you this way: there were a lot of years I had to kind of beg people, trust me. If you help us, if you support us, this will happen. If you support us, more young people will graduate from college. More of them will succeed in their careers. More of them will have tools that open the world to them. Golf will matter in their lives. I used to have to hope that people believed in our promise. And the best thing about Midnight Golf is I don't have to convince anybody of anything anymore. I have facts now. And the facts are more people graduate from Midnight Golf, more than just the general population, because of the kind of value that having a network and support. Young people are interning more at Midnight Golf. They travel abroad 2 or 3 times their peers. They find jobs faster. They do much better on their jobs. They lead organizations, even to go back to something that might seem small, but at one point, 7 of the 9 major fraternities at Michigan State were run by Midnight Golf students. They are the presidents of the fraternities and sororities. And so it's not a hope anymore. It's a fact now that Midnight Golf makes a difference. It changes people's lives, and we're all better for it.
It's just Midnight Golf definitely gives you lifelong relationships. My name is Justin Williams. I graduated from Midnight Golf in 2013. We're here in Atlanta, Georgia on a road trip. I stopped everything I was doing right after work, and came out to meet the new kids, see my old mentors. I mean, the mentors are truly one call away. They guide you through every facet of your life, professionally and personally. And it should be lifelong relationships that'll really last a lifetime. Like, these are the type of people that'll be at your wedding, they'll be there for all your successes, and most importantly, they're to pick you up when you fail, which you will never leave you with. So.
Are you getting mad? It's not good.
Woo!